Do you recommend one to get articles while doing third year to CTA to fund their studies, or one to be a full-time student and do articles after CTA?
Balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. You like the fast life. You like to drive and get down and dirty. Act like the bad guy. You want some love, me like when you feel like calling at midnight. You got the best of me. You got me losing sleep. I've been hopeful, baby. I was hoping maybe that you'd cross my path. I've been sinking lately, and it's hard to move. Think I'm stuck on you. We're in transits, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. I wonder, would you love me better if I go? I'm not home. I wonder, can we trust the stars above to let us know? I'd go. We only got this life, no guarantees and stars align. Follow your passion trail and try to keep an open mind. Hiding it by myself, no guarantees you'll find me. Said if it's faith you'll find me, leaving the past behind. We're in transits, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. I wonder, would you love me better if I go? I'm not home. I wanna know, can we trust the stars above to let us know? I'd go. Whoa.
하지만
I've been receiving so many questions, specifically CASA questions, but just general career questions over the past few months, and I've decided to answer those questions in this video. I also posted on my community tab as well as my Instagram for any of those who wanted to add some questions to the ones that I've already gotten. So I've made note of those and I'm also going to answer them in this video. So without rambling on too much, let me answer some questions that you had. So the first question was, how did you manage CTA and articles? Also, do you advise a full-time CTA student to start articles during that CTA year or wait out until after CTA? So I'm going to break this question down. So they asked, how did you manage CTA and articles? And the short answer is, I stayed organized. Okay, I stayed organized. I stayed pretty much on top of the program that I was doing. If you didn't know, I did my CTA through UNISA, so I kept up with the program as much as possible. Luckily at UNISA, the topics are broken down into different tutorial packs, and you sort of can gauge what is going to be asked in test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4 kind of. And yeah, it was a juggling act. It was a juggling act between my studies and my work, and the most important thing that I had was a supportive firm and supportive managers as well, who understood that I could not spend as many hours on the audit because I had to go home and study. And also discipline to study after work, sometimes before work, to study whenever I had a free moment, to study over the weekends. So yeah, that's how I managed. And then also, would you advise a full-time CTA student to start articles during the CTA year or wait? So I think that part, they're asking if you should rather do CTA full-time or CTA with your articles, and the answer is it depends on you, child. Okay, if you think you can balance the two things together and still keep your sanity, then go for it. But I will say both have their merits. Okay, if you're doing your CTA full-time, you're able to just hone in and focus on your studies. If you're doing CTA part-time, then a lot of the time you get so much practical knowledge and practical experience that you are able to apply certain situations to your studies as well. So you get sort of a nice perspective on the theory that you study during CTA. So it just depends on what kind of person you are, and it also depends if you have funding or not. You know, if you have funding, you should go ahead and do it full time. If you don't have funding, or if you have responsibilities already and you want to be able to earn a salary already, then part-time is also an option that you can explore. But really, it depends on the kind of person that you are. All right, next question. Hey Ms. Q, do you recommend one to get articles while doing third year to CTA to fund their studies, or one to be a full-time student and do articles after CTA? So I've addressed this question in the previous one. So it depends, Miss Q. It depends, Miss Thing. If you would like to have sort of a sounding board kind of a person to see which side you fall on, then feel free to DM me on Instagram. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you might have in weighing the two decisions to arrive at the one that is best for you. So go ahead, DM me. I don't mind. I will answer your DMs. Zinzi says, hey, do you have any tips for anyone starting articles, work-wise and personal life-wise, example in terms of budget? So I am going to do a short video about this in more detail, but I think if I can give you one tip for someone starting articles, it's that you don't know everything there is to know, and that is okay. Make use of the people that are around you so that you can ask them as many questions as you need to learn the job. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask questions. Ask as many questions as your heart desires, especially at the beginning of your articles. And yeah, always keep on top of your competencies. Always keep a record of what you finished and what you are going to attack in the next cycle, in the next audit, in the next project. So, okay, I've given you 2, but stay tuned. I'm going to do a shorts video specifically answering this question. So thank you, Zinzi. All right. And then All Things Luxury says, how to study each of the 4 or 5 majors in accounting science. So I do have 2 or 3 TikToks about, sort of studying tips for accounting and tax and auditing. So if you're not following me on TikTok, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I will be adding some tips that I have for management accounting and finance as well, and just some specific questions that people have asked me around exam tips and all of that stuff. So I will be doing all of those. I will be addressing all of those study tips over on TikTok, so make sure that you're following me there. I will leave my is it called a handle on TikTok? I'll leave my handle over here. All right. And then Miss Q again asks, guys, if the lighting becomes weird, it's because there's load shedding, number 1, and it's currently 7:15, so please bear with me, okay? My ring light doesn't work without power. Anyway, Miss Q asks again, how did you manage passing your CTA whilst working as well? Because I know CTA is demanding. Again, it comes down to organization and keeping on top of everything. And another thing which I did is I implemented a rewards system for myself. So I would say if I passed all my subjects in test 1, I gave myself sort of an allowance to spend on whatever I wanted. If I got distinctions or A kind of symbols, then obviously the cash would be double. So I sort of found what works for me, and money works for me. So I put in place a reward system where I allowed myself to spend money if I did well in my exams. So yeah, I organized myself and I tried to reward myself for good work. Yeah. And also I communicated with the managers that I had, and I don't think there was a soul on my project that didn't know that I was busy with CTA. So it's very important to communicate with people around you that you do need a little bit of time, When it's time to go home, it's time to go home. When it's time to be on leave so that you can study, it's time to be on leave so that you can study. So that is how I did it. And also, I must say, where I did articles is absolutely just scrumptious when it comes to supporting you with your CTA. Like, they were brilliant. I don't think, if I was at any other institution, I don't think I would have passed my CTA the first time. But because that institution they held me by the hand, and they also reward you in terms of monetary terms when you pass your CTA. So, and also, we also used to get vouchers and increases if you passed CTA, ITC, what have you. So the rewards were there, then the recognition was there. So I feel like, yeah, it had an impact on me passing CTA. All right. Barbs says, hi Sana, hey girl. I also did my articles at redacted, and it's a struggle to get jobs. How did I think she's asking, how did you get the position that I'm in now? Listen, I did a video of how exactly I got the job that I got, but literally, I think when you qualify, it doesn't really matter. And the institution that we trained at is sought after in a lot of places because we get a unique experience, we get a unique sort of coaching, we get a unique set of skills from that institution. So I think I just knew where to look, I just knew where to look and I tried my luck. So yeah, that's all I can say to you is try your luck, okay? As long as you meet the requirements of the jobs, I think you should be fine. But also take what I just said with a grain of salt. I do think a large component of me being able to secure certain job offers is my undergrad at UCT and just being qualified in general. Yeah, try your luck, don't sell yourself short. Whatever you're interested in, I feel like go for it. And you might be surprised, it might be the actual format of your CV more than where you trained before that is preventing you from getting jobs. So I think maybe get some assistance in putting together like your CVs, your cover letters and all of that stuff. Hone your interview taking skills, and yeah, you can get any job that you want, I think. I've got a lot of colleagues that are overseas that trained at the same place that I trained. A lot of them are in public sector, in municipalities, in the departments, doing big things. They're CEOs, CFOs, some of them. So I just think maybe go back to your CVs and your actual HR work, and then try your luck. Okay. The next one is from Mimi. Hi, Mimi. She says, Hi, can you please, do you have any idea how to become a CA but for management accountant? I have an advanced diploma in management from DUT, wondering if you're able to do a postgrad at UNISA. Okay, so I think what Mimi is asking is how to become a CGMA or CIMA. So I will be covering this in a future video, so stay tuned, Mimi. Make sure your bell is on because I am going to cover that exact question very, very soon. From Fezeka, she asks, can I please ask, so if you do your advanced diploma at UNISA and you pass, can you apply at another institution, say UJ, to do your CTA? So basically the advanced diploma that she's asking about is the official bridging course that UNISA offers. So she's asking, if you do that bridging qualification through UNISA, will you be able to then go and do your CTA at UJ or any other university? And the short answer is yes, especially Fort Hare. I know Fort Hare takes you if you already did another bridging qualification somewhere. But then again, it all boils down to the minimum admission criteria. So the admissions people would basically evaluate based on your previous academic record and also your bridging course record to see if you meet the minimum requirements for their specific CTA class. What you need to also remember is the fact that these CTA PGDA classes have very limited numbers, okay? So most of the times they will take from the third year class of that specific university, and especially UJ as well, because they do also have a bridging program. They probably are going to take from their own bridging program class as well, which leaves very, very limited space, if any, to accept anyone from any other university. Not saying that they won't take you, I'm just saying that the pool is so great and the class is so small. So, but the short answer is yes, you might be able to do it, but you know, space is very limited in these CTA programs, except for UNISA. Hey, I studied diploma in accountancy at UJ. Do I have to start from advanced certificate in accounting science or advanced diploma in accounting science? Okay, so this person did a diploma in accountancy at UJ, all right, which is probably equivalent to the diploma in accounting sciences at UNISA. Okay, so if you have done an advanced diploma in accounting sciences, then you are able to proceed to the bridging course. This is for UNISA specifically. You're able to do the advanced diploma in accounting sciences, which is the bridging program, and thereafter you will do the CTA. Right? Yeah. Right. Next is from Paki. They say, great video. BCom Finance is BCom Finance an accounting related degree? So this question comes from the video where I was basically outlining the different ways to become a CASA from 5 different starting points. So the starting points being, if you have a CASA stream degree, a non-CASA stream degree but accounting related, a non-accounting, non-CA degree, a diploma, and a higher certificate. Okay, so BCom Finance is most definitely accounting related. So generally, just on the side, generally your commerce degrees, your commerce qualifications for the first year to 2 years, everybody sort of does the same course load. Okay, and this is throughout most of the universities. You'll probably be doing the same coursework as someone who is doing the CA stream qualifications in your first year and maybe half of your second year as well, maybe some of your third year as well. So it is accounting related, even though it's not CA stream. Nonhlanhla is asking, is BCom Economics and Accounting related degree? Again, yes, it is, because a lot of the commerce subjects do in some way, shape or form have accounting somewhere in there, okay? Because the commerce faculties, the commerce faculty first years tend to do the same. First years, some of the second years tend to do the same kind of coursework. So, yes. All right. Hey, Precious says, hey Precious, I love your videos. They are so informative and I aspire to be like you. I'm about to start my first year and I got accepted for BCom Finance. Can I become a CASA with this? Or should I follow the BCom Accounting route? First of all, congratulations, Precious. Good job, girl. Okay, so my advice to Precious is, since you already know that you want to become a CA, try, if you are able to, try and get yourself registered for the CA stream qualification at your university, okay? If you are not able to do it at this time, maybe sit with the course advisors and ask them how you can make a seamless transition into the CASA stream class, Okay, you don't have to go ahead and finish the whole BCom Finance before you do the bridging and all of that stuff. Yeah, try now to be able to take, even if you have to take a few extra courses here and there, but in the next year or in the next semester, maybe you'll be able to change to CA stream. Yeah, but in any case, you are able to become a CA with a BCom Finance, and I cover all of that in this video right here. So if you need guidance, go ahead and watch that video of what the path would be if you have a BCom Finance, BCom Economics, and all of the accounting adjacent degrees. We are losing light fast, hey? Okay. Emil says, love this video. Thank you so much for this. Can you please consider doing a video sharing your CASA journey? Ciao, I've been thinking about it, and I don't know, I feel maybe I feel like there's still aspects of the journey that I'm not ready to share yet, because they hurt me. Okay, they hurt me. So eventually one day soon I will be ready to just come out and share with you my journey. But what you need to understand is that my journey is very vulnerable. There's a lot of failures there. So yeah, one of these days I will be ready to just come out and share my journey, because I do feel like a lot of people may benefit from it, because my journey has not been a straight line at all. From the beginning it was just a maza. So I think a lot of people will benefit. So yeah, I'll consider it. Ulumga says, which firm offered to pay your CTA and which location was it? Well, all three of the firms that gave me an offer did offer to pay for my CTA, and they were all in Cape Town. But wait, they were all in Cape Town, but one of them is sort of like nationwide. So, and that's the one that I ultimately chose. The power's back. Okay, so Hurisani says, hey, what happens if you study BCom Accounting and it's not the CA, it's not accredited by CASA? Will I be an accountant trainee? So I think what Hurisani is trying to ask is if she'll be able to secure articles with a BCom Accounting that's not accredited by CASA. And the short answer is yes, as long as you are registered for a qualification that is recognized to be leading up to CASA. So for example, if you're registered for one of the bridging courses, or if you're registered for CTA, then you will be considered for articles, for CASA articles. So yes, you will be able to secure your articles even if you don't have a CASA degree. You're just gonna have to look around, girl, but you can. Punzo asked, can one be a CA with a BCom General? The short answer is yes. The long answer is you will have to do a number of extra steps, such as a bridging course, in order for you to end up as a CA. Yamkhitsu said, greetings, may you please do a video about the challenges that one may face in their undergrad if they didn't do accounting in high school, which modules to look out for, which ones are challenging? Yes, Kia, I will. Can I call you Kia? Yes, Kia, I will consider doing a video on that, but the short answer to your question is you don't really need to have done accounting in high school to excel or to do well in an accounting in an accounting degree. So don't worry yourself too much about if you're going to be behind or not, because truth is everybody starts basically from the same starting point, because the accounting that is covered in high school isn't really the accounting that you're going to learn going forward. What our lecturers used to like to joke about is the fact that in high school you cover bookkeeping, and then in university is when the actual accounting really starts. Yeah, so don't worry about what subjects are you need to look out for. In my experience, I've found that some subjects that people would say to look out for were the subjects that I found the easiest. So for example, management accounting and auditing, those were my two favorite, or my two highest subjects, or my two most enjoyable subjects, even though people will tell you to look out for those. So my advice is, you know what, do your best with the subjects that you are given. Don't go into subjects thinking that they're going to be too difficult, or thinking that people haven't excelled at them, because you are different and you might actually enjoy those subjects, you know. So yeah, long-winded way of saying that you actually don't need to do accounting in high school. Okay, Sheila says, please do salary for post-training. Yes, Sheila, I will try. But you know what? You know where the danger is when it comes to doing articles for post-training. So I think what she's asking is post-training when you haven't qualified as a CA. The thing is, the price, the salary disparities there are is very high, because you know different people are doing different things, you know, post articles. So it's very difficult to sort of pinpoint what people would be getting, you know, post articles. But I will try and drum up some average figures across the board. But yeah, very difficult thing to pinpoint. All right, an interesting question by Tando says, do you think artificial intelligence could replace CASA? And the very short, very summarized answer is no. The main reason being, CASA is kind of like a leadership camp, okay? So while we are training to be CASAs, we're getting trained to be thought leaders, decision makers, leaders of industry, okay? And as far as I know, well into the future, although a lot is going to be, you know, replaced by artificial intelligence and all sorts of technologies, but we will always need a human aspect to sort of steer the boat. You will always need leaders, you will always need leaders, you'll always need decision makers, you will always need CFOs, CEOs, and all manner of leaders in business. So my short answer is no, I do not think that CASA may be replaced by artificial intelligence in the near future. The last question says, hello, how can one prepare for their third year? So I'm guessing, I don't know if you mean your third year in undergrad or your third year in articles, but if you mean your third year in articles, literally the best way that you can prepare yourself for the year is to start preparing yourself from day one, from year one, okay? Make sure you get as many competencies as you possibly humanly can in your first and second year, okay? Because your third year is very short. It goes by so quickly, and you don't want to be that third year that is stuck not having enough competencies to be signed off. So have a plan, have a look every 6 months. Every time you do your ANA, look what is coming up next in your next level and make sure that you cover those well in advance, so that by third year you've covered most of your core competencies and you only have, like, you know, the little things to do. That's what I did. I had completed majority of my competencies by the end of my second year, which meant that in third year I only had to do, I think, 1 or 2 competencies or 3 competencies that I had to work on in my third year. So it wasn't that stressful. So don't stress yourself out. Make sure that you've got your hours covered and your competencies covered. So that's how you can prepare for third year and have fun. You know, it's not any different from your first or second year. Don't pressurize yourself. Just, you know, have fun, enjoy being a third year. And yeah, if you're talking about undergrad, I don't know if you can prepare yourself. It's no different, I don't think. Third year of anything is no different from the formative years. I feel like it's just the nostalgia of coming to the end of something. Especially if I can remember back to varsity, my final year of my degree was probably the best academic wise, you know, because I felt like a lot of things I had already grasped, and you know, I was just following. I'd gotten into the groove. So yeah, I don't think there's much that you can do to prepare yourself for third year undergrad, but to just do what has been working over the past 2 years and do away with what has been slowing you down or pulling you down. And remember to just stay productive. I actually shared with you some of my top productivity tips. So if you would like to know what those are, go ahead and click on this video right here, and I'll see you next week for another one. Thank you so much for watching, guys.